Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Faith, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.
Good morning and welcome. It's January, excuse me. January the 27th. Wow, time is flying. I can't believe it's 27 days into the new year. A lot of changes, a lot of things going on. But one thing I do want to give you a warm welcome that you found the right place. This is a live podcast. You come here to fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And CPS stands for what I call the Child Protection Systems in every county, every state. And I know it's a struggle because I too am a victim of CPS, the Child Protection Systems. Now, you found me on Facebook, and I'm glad you did. And I'm on twice a day at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, and again at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on the west coast of California. I'm in Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the beach. And it's a live podcast from my home. And I want to help you all because I'm not an attorney, but I'm a loving father and a husband. I've raised 6 children, 3 older children and 3 younger children. And I have over 41 years of experience as a husband. And what I mean by 41, that's how long the marriages that I've had have been so. I've always been a family man and always think about family as the most important part of my life. And even though, time moves on, you get older, I still am a family man. I have 2 of my children still living with me, and I'm taking care of them. And they're helping me too. It's sad, though, a lot of times that we have families that are broken up, and CPS was the instigator that broke me up too. It was a terrible feeling when it does happen. When your children are taken from you, when they're not in danger, and when CPS does what they want to do, and you almost have no choice but to sit there and put up with it. And it's a hard thing to put up with it because in my case, it was wrong. It was terribly wrong. There's no need to put my children into foster care or traffic them in there. There's no need to alienate the children from their family. It was really a gross thing they were trying to do. They're trying to get my older son to not finish at his private school, to get my older son to go into their school of choice. And the problem is there is a need for child protection system. There is a need to protect your children because there are bad parents out there. But it is really really, really hard to fight CPS because they get away with everything. I mean, it's really ridiculous. They use the police for intimidation. See, the reason why the police always seem to be with CPS is for protecting CPS workers from people that do harm CPS workers. That does take place. But they're also used by CPS as intimidation, not for protection, as intimidation. And also, the police don't know the laws of dependency court. They don't know. I've been fighting this thing now for 15 years. And I've talked to over 900 people on this podcast over 15 months. And I've talked to around the world, by the way. This podcast is broadcast around the world. I've talked to over 20 countries, from Bangladesh to India to several countries in the Middle East to 6 countries in Africa. And it looks like one of the countries that I've spoken to, Rwanda, is having civil rights again. And it was a terrible experience in 1994 with Rwanda. And it was all due to classes of people, not race, because everybody in Rwanda is black. So it isn't that. But it's really sad to hear that strife again, especially in a lot of these undeveloped countries. And it's a big, big problem out there. It really is. But CPS is really got out of hand. They become a rogue, meaning that they're only in it from the money part. You'll find out the reason why they take your children, the reason why they keep your children, the reason why they put them in foster care and stuff is all about making money. And that's the sad part about the child protection system. It is really, really, really sad. Now, this podcast here is to help you all, and there's several ways you can participate in this podcast. And I want to thank everybody that's coming into my room here. This is a podcast where you can express your feelings and talk about things, and I try to help you with experiences, my things in there. So I think we need to address some of these people that have come in here so far. I am going to put up one way that you can interact in this podcast, and that is to text me a message, and there's instructions that go with that there. Let me start at the beginning here, because we got some rooms that have come in here, but I have some rooms I don't even recognize here. We have 7 rooms from Facebook that tie into this podcast. Now I'm broadcast on YouTube, and I am transmitting live. I use the StreamYard application here, and it's really important there. Now, see, one of the rooms is the reality series, and it's repeated twice. I have no idea why it's repeated twice. There's different messages in there from these rooms. You'll see they have all kinds of things in there with links and stuff. So they're supposed to help you. There's the Sand Store, which Vincent Davis uses, and he has downloads of resources, guides and stuff. Like there's a new parent guide, grandparent guide for grandparents in California. And then we have another room called the Juvenile Dependency. And then we have our first visitor, Adam Biddle. And good morning. My wife and Courtney are joining from Georgia. Again, we appreciate all you're doing and extremely grateful for your plethora of information. Okay, well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. Welcome from Georgia. And then we have a new person called Des Amosella. And I apologize if I ruined your last name, but Amosella. Des. Okay. Uh, you're talking about CPS was inserted in my life in 2021. And without hesitation, I compiled and was willing to do whatever they asked because I thought that was the right thing to do. That happened to me. I started in 2010 when I lost my job through no fault of my own after working for 45 years. And it was a hard thing at age 60 then. I was age 60 then. And that's why I started to get involved in CPS. It seems like CPS recognizes people that are down and out in their luck, meaning that they're having financial difficulties, their job is lost. It's almost like a red flag. They hear someone that is down and out and they want to pounce on them. What I mean by pouncing on them, they want to make them do things that are ridiculously wrong. And they want to take your children because they get money. What they do is they muscle their way into your life using the police as intimidation instead of for their protection. And the police go along with whatever they say. And the problem is they know that you don't know about CPS. I didn't know CPS existed when they first started contacting me. I had no idea what the function of them was. Now, they are part of social services. Now, I do know what social services is. It's an agency that's supposed to help you with food and shelter and clothing and transportation and medical and educational and even help you get a job. That's what the social service is supposed to do. Now, Congress mandated that a part of social service will protect their children from neglect and abuse. Those are the two areas that they want to key on, neglect and abuse. For instance, are you physically hurting the child? That's abuse. Are you doing foolish things like have them touch the burners to see if they're hot when they're young? That's wrong. That is wrong. And there's those kinds of things. Or you neglect, like you let them go wild in the backyard, a 2-year-old, they can get hurt, or do you not watch them? So that's what they're supposed to do. It's mandated by Congress to protect our children from neglect and abuse. And if they find the children are in imminent danger, meaning they're going to be harmed or hurt, they will take the children and put them into what's called foster care. Now, what that is a group of parents that have applied to be foster care families, meaning they'll take the children in and help them until the parents go through the treatment and get themselves back together. That's how it's supposed to work. But an incentive in 1994 passed by President Bill Clinton gave extra money to the CPS, the child protection systems, to have them adopted in foster care, then have them rehab and do family reunification. Family reunification can take a long time, like a year, because some of the programs are 12 months, like domestic violence, drug rehab, alcohol rehab. They're 12-month-long programs. It's where you have to go to sessions and you have to be tested drugs every day. So with that being said, it kind of works against you on that. So I don't know what state you're from, Des Amasella, but I'd like to help you further. I'd like to hear more about your case. Now, we had another room, how to fight CPS. And then we have Des again say, wrong. They set you up to be failure. You're right. You're right. They do set you up. They set you up so bad. Because why? It's all about money. That's all they want is money. Money, money, money. So we have the room called The Real Talk with Mrs. G. And then, of course, my room with Bob Pace. And that is really good. Now we have a second person here called Kaliki McGill. Glad to meet you, Kaliki McGill. And good morning. You need help? I'm here to help you. I talked to Mr. Davis a few times. My whole situation has been unbelievable. Well, I'm glad you talked to Mr. Davis. He is the lawyer that sponsors his podcast. He has a law firm, Vincent W. Davis and Associates, and he really helps. He's more than just money. He helps, gives a lot of his free time. And I know it's expensive hiring a lawyer, but he's the right kind of lawyer to get there. I'd like to hear more. I also like to know where you're from, Kiki Miguel. Now, Des says, I closed that case, worked all my services, and now they're trying to contact me. I refuse. I refuse. If it was that important since September 2024, find me with a court order. I'm done. Horrible. I'm so sorry. I don't know where you are from there, but I'd like to help you there further to know that more there. And I will help you, Des. I will help you, Des. Now, relatives fight CPS. That's been on before. The law office of Vincent W. Davis is good. And Kiki's back again. What number do I text? Okay, you just text on right now where you're at. Now, if you want to call in, I'm going to put my number up so that people can call in. Right now, I'll put my number up. You text the messages on here. That's my number. Let me see here. Here we go. There's my number. That is the number you can call and talk to me on my phone with the people in the room. And my phone is open to you. Or you just call 626-698-0990. And that is a live phone number. It's my work phone number. And I use StreamYard as an application on that. Now I want to go back here and tell you about texting. Texting is here. You don't dial a number. You just text in the comment section of YouTube. And all I ask you is that when you text me a message, either a comment or a question, make it pertain to CPS. Please show me your first name and your city or the county your case was in. And then also include the state. Now, if you're from another country, and I said just talk to you about the countries, and I was leaving you off with Canada. There are 4 provinces, and I've had lots of Canadians on here that have talked live on the show that have been a guest or phone in there. Also, I've had all 50 states contact me, including the District of Columbia, which is the Washington, D.C. It's not a state, but it's a district. They've contacted me. I've had Mexico, and then I've had Grenada down in South America. Then across the Pacific, I've had New Zealand, and then I've had Australia. I had a new person last night from Australia, from Queensland. I have the Gold Coast, Queensland, and then I have the state of Victoria, the Melbourne area. And so it's well diversified of people here. And some people become regular in my room, and it's become a family. They call me Uncle Bob. Okay. I have a lot of redundancies of messages coming in. Wow. So it's not a number you text, Kiki. It's just what you do is you just start typing in a comment. You start typing in a comment. Also, try to tell me as much as you can about your case, so I can know that. So, also, there is a new book out called The Guide for Grandparents. It's geared for California, but it'll work for other states and so forth. It's the steps and procedures for grandparents to see their grandchildren, to get guardianship of their grandchildren. It's a real good book, and it's $9.99, but you can get 50% off if you use my code capital P, capital A, capital C, capital E, 50, or use Vincent's code VWD 50. Anyway, it's a good book. You'll get it for $4.99, and it's a good resource. There's a website you go to, or you can call the number of the office. Now, the number of the office, I got it kind of hidden there, so let me take it down there. It's 888-888-6582. That's the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. And you can call the reception there and tell them that Bob Pace sent you. It's very important when you call in, you get their name, who you're talking to, because some of you have expressed that you're not getting return phone calls or you're going nowhere. That is a 24/7 number. And if it's not answered by anybody, it stops at me. I'm the last person on the list that I get a phone call from. And, I've got some strange phone calls from there, things about selling me something or helping out about something and stuff. So anyway, make sure you get the name of the person you talked to, because one of you the other day said they didn't call you back. And I hate for anybody not to have a call back or not have a number that will work good for you and stuff. Now, okay. A third way of interacting in this podcast is to be a guest on my show. And I have a producer, her name is Grace, and to schedule a show to be our guest, what you do is you pick one of my 14 shows, either my morning podcast or evening. Now, I set them on at 10 and 7. Now, on the weekend, I come on a couple hours early at 8 o'clock in the morning. One day, Saturday, Vincent has a podcast he does at 10 o'clock, and then I have church on Sunday. So I come on early. So that's the only two difference. So you just pick one of the 14 shows, email it to grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentwdavis.com. And she'll put you on my show. I can take up 9 of you, total of 10, that can talk and so forth. And I want to help you. That's what I'm here for. I want to help you with my experience. And if I knew I have 5 rules, if I had followed those 5 rules, I never would have been in CPS. I never would. CPS was not for me because it was not necessary. It was an over-exemption. As they say, they key on people that are down and out. And they also get a lot of false reports from lay people that make false allegations. And that's sad because every allegation is treated as real and honest. So CPS will not dispute it, so they know it's honest. So try to be a guest on my podcast. That would be great. And then I'll put my number up again. And there's my number you can call. Now let me go back to our people in the room and see who else has been expressing interest here. Now, I don't know why these rooms are repeating themselves, but they seem to be different messages. I guess. Now, Des says, thank you for what you do. Yes, I just said it perfectly, down and out. Easy target, too easy. You're right, Des. Again, I don't know what state you're from. Please tell me. No. Fight CPS. And there's something called the defense strategies. New Jersey. All right. Des is from New Jersey. Yay. I know that. So we have New Jersey, and then we have another person from Georgia. Let me see. Des is from New Jersey. Adam. I think Adam is from Georgia. And I'm so glad to have you, Adam. I haven't heard anything more from you. And then we have Kiki. And I don't know where Kiki's from, but it'd be nice if she could tell us. And then we have defense strategies, defense strategies, defense strategies, defense strategies. I wish you could do, let me see what he says. I wish you could do the same day. Yes. Well, you can be on the guest. The earliest would be tomorrow. But my producer has to take time to set you up with that. But you can call in and be a guest. You can talk on the phone. Your face will not be shown, but you can call in and talk on my phone. But I can only take one phone call at a time. As a guest, I can take 9 of you. So don't panic. Don't panic, Des from New Jersey. Just call in. The number, it's easy. Just dial 626-698-0990. Now, as I told you, my case was a very bad one because I'd lost my job through no fault of my own. Then I started getting calls from CPS. They'd stop by my home, and to talk to them. In the early part of the stages, I had no problem about showing my home. I didn't know you're not allowed to show your home. I mean, I didn't know you're not supposed to talk to CPS. My rule number 3 says basically don't open the door to anybody. I mean, you can have a special knock on your door so you know it's a family member or not, but don't have you open the door or don't have your family members open the door. Because, see, once CPS sets foot in the house, they think you gave them permission to do all kinds of things, like search the house to see what you may have. And things that you may have laying around may get you into trouble. So that's why you don't open your house to them. You need to have an attorney present. It's like open heart surgery. If you're going to have open heart surgery, you need a professional to do it. You just can't do it yourself. You can't have a plumber take your heart out and fix on it. The same thing is with this case with CPS. They're that complex. They lie. They are very deceiving, lie, and they manipulate and use the rules wrongly. And that's why you need to have a special tool to fight CPS, which is the right kind of lawyer. Now, they will give you a lawyer. It's called a court-appointed attorney or the public defender. The problem with that kind of attorney is they're only trained in criminal law. They're not trained in juvenile family dependency law. That's the 3 areas that you have to be dealing with: juveniles, families, and dependency court. That's what you're doing. Dependency law, juvenile law, family law, they go together. And so you need someone on your side, you need someone that knows, what to do and everything, that knows like what a 3E is or a 60 hearing or how to do this or how to do that or how to keep your children or how to get back your children. A lawyer is your way to succeed. And using the court-appointed attorneys, I'm not saying you can't, but if you use them, you have to use them with the understanding that they don't have the background. They only have criminal law. They just started out, they're new, and they're already stuck with 30 or more clients. I mean, their caseload is so busy, they don't have time to fight. They also work for CPS, and they're not on your side. It's, to me, a waste of time. I tried to use a court-appointed attorney, but she was worthless. They don't care. They're just trying to move on to the next case. You're like cattle to them. You're like cattle. You know how cattle just follow and go together as a group, and it's like they're there to get slaughtered and eaten. Anyway, you definitely have to pick the right kind of attorney. That's my rule number 1. And you need that attorney. Now, Vincent Davis is one of those attorneys. You should at least talk to 3 attorneys. You should get their prices for the retainer and get the chemistry between you two. But also, you need to check them out. You need to make things. So if you contact an attorney for the first time, there are 2 questions. Question 1, are you a licensed juvenile family dependency lawyer who has won cases against CPS and gotten the children back? If the answer to that question is yes, your question 2 is, have you ever, after your case is closed, have you ever fought CPS in a civil lawsuit and won money back from them, either in state court or federal court? And that is important to find that kind of individual, because you're going to find 3 of them and then you're going to make a determination which one. Vincent is one of those 3. You need to check him out. You need to hear his podcast. You need to talk to him. Now, there's 2 ways you can talk to him, by the way. 3 ways, 4 ways. One way is that you can get a free consultation with Mr. Davis for 15 minutes, either by calling in to this podcast or and be a guest and talk, or call in and my phone number and talk. So you either can call in or be a guest, and that will guarantee you a 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. It's really great to hear from a professional attorney. He was my attorney. He helped me get my 2 of my 3 children back. I had 3 children out of my 6 who were taken in custody, trafficking into foster care, stolen. They weren't in danger when they picked up my kids. They were in school. High academic school. But they made a claim they got to take the child because they're in danger. What danger? What danger? They don't answer those questions. They just do what they want to do. They're very intimidating. They're not warm and friendly. They're not on your side. They don't believe in family reunification. Now, not all CPS workers or the CPS systems are bad. It's just over the 900 some people I've talked to, you all have something in common. They took your children that weren't in danger, and they won't give your children back, or they lead you on about the family reunification. Hello, Jesse. Welcome, Jesse. I'm glad you got to be here because I think you've been on before, Jesse, but could you refresh my memory and tell me what city, state, and country you're from? Also, I'd love to help you about your case if you explain your case a little bit. So I've had Adam, I've had Kiki, I've had Dez, and now I have Jesse here. So welcome. Y'all can call in. The number's up, 626-698-0990 if you want to talk about your case. And then there's the number of my office, 888-888-6582, where you can hire Mr. Davis right away. And also there's other attorneys he has in his office. He has real estate, he has immigration, he has the workplace, he has accident claims, injury claims, criminal matters, divorce matters. He has an attorney that meet all your needs. So I love to hear from that. Now, we've gone over 30 minutes of my podcast, and we've still got 26 minutes left to call in or to ask, or text me a question here, and I try to answer as best as I can. I want to hear they help you, because you're going to find CPS is like your Alice in Wonderland. You've fallen in the rabbit hole, and you met the Cheshire Cat who directs you to nowhere. You go from room to room going nowhere. CPS is nowhere. They're lying and deceiving, the ones that I talk to. My personal case. Because there's not been that many good social workers that have called in on this show. I've had a total of 4. I love to hear more. I love to hear from policemen too about your story. And you can keep your information confidential. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Now I'm looking for more comments. I don't know, and I have nobody that's called in yet, but I'd love to hear from you all. And thank you for the emojis. You know, it's really great for the thumbs up, the hearts, the smiley faces, and even send me stars. And there's my friend, Lori Hillner, who's from Canada, who's been with me for 15 months. It took her to the last couple weeks, to finally talk about her case. That case can be so bad and so bad. So I'm glad you gave me a thumbs up, Lori. And then Teresa Munoz, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, don't forget to click the follow button to follow me, or the notification button to notify you when I'll be live. And that's really important. Now, I miss my Canadian friends and my African friends on here. Also, I'm looking for JD from LA, California, and friends from New Jersey and Pennsylvania and so forth. They've come back all the time. Now, Jesse further says, of course, Montana County, California. Monterey, California. That's right, Jesse. Thank you so much. Monterey, California. And I have an active CPS case with my 5-year-old and reunifying next month. Oh, good. They're going to go for the reunified. I'm glad to hear that. But I have a year, and that's parts is not part of the case. But I have you have a 1-year-old, and that's not part of the case. Oh boy. Maybe if you call in, Jesse, or text me a little bit more clarification. I'm kind of confused why the 1 year is not part of the case. So you have a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. I remember that case, the 5 and the 1. The one you've come in later that you gave birth to. One thing you guys got to be careful about is that when you have an active CPS case, you're not supposed to have any more children. If you do, they'll take your child from you. They'll take your child from you. So it's sad, I have to say that, but they will take your child away from you. You see, when they report, they got two kinds of people that report child abuse cases or child neglect cases. There are the professionals that are trained, your doctors, your nurses, your lawyers, your school teachers, your counselors, school counselors, all those kinds of professional people. They've been trained and they do recognize neglected abuse and they report it in. But like everything else, when something's reported in, CPS is going to open and investigate it. So you got to be careful of that. Okay. Jesse further says, I got served a court hearing. They want legal guardianship for my 1-year-old, and I'm going to family court for my 1-year-old. Well, you don't want to give up guardianship. If you have a 5-year-old, why can't you keep your 1-year-old? And so you do have a case. So you have a case for your 5-year-old and you have a case for 1-year-old. Why do they want guardianship? What have you done that is bad? What neglect or abuse? They should do what's called family reunification. They did it with your 5-year-old. Why don't they do it with your 1-year-old? Or are they trying to punish you for having a child with a case open? Okay, the number's on my screen. It's in black and white. It says, please call me Bob Pace, 626-698-0990. And I'll double check. I use Vonage, which is an application. Um, Good morning, and who am I speaking to?
Hi, it's me, Jesse Universe.
All right, glad to have you call in, Jesse.
Thank you for answering.
Yes.
Yes. So I had a open CPS case last year of March 13, and my 5-year-old went into the foster care, and my 1-year-old went with the dad, and I was the dad's lover, you could say, because he is been with this. He has a family of his own, and the person was the significant other, the wife. You could say they're not legally married, but they've been living with each other for 15 years, and that's the person that wants the legal guardianship. It's not the dad; it's more likely the significant other that wants the
Okay.
legal guardianship.
Now, where are you located? I forgot.
Monterey County in
That's right.
California.
You told me Monterey County. Okay, up there in Monterey County. Now, if I understand this correctly, the two children, the 5-year-old and the 1-year-old, is that the same father or different fathers?
No, different fathers.
Okay, so the 5-year-old has a different father. How's he involved in the case?
For the 1-year-old,
No, for the 5-year-old.
he's not involved in the case.
Okay, so he wants something to do with your 5-year-old, give him support or anything else.
I kind of want like a word of advice of what to do for my 1-year-old, because CPS does not do family court. All they provided me was with letters to the judge about reunifying with my daughter, everything that I've been doing for the department, and how reunification services is going to happen soon. And from my understanding, family court is more of convincing the judge about my case.
Well, family court is usually used for families that are going through divorce. I'm talking about dependency court. What about dependency court?
There wasn't a case for my 1-year-old because the dad doesn't have a history with CPS, and the significant other does not have a history of alcoholism or substance abuse. So they didn't open a case on my 1-year-old, only my 5-year-old.
Yeah, but he didn't open it. But my question is that have you and your lover the one that you have, the 1-year-old, have you worked out a visitation arrangement or what? What is the problem there?
No, I tried to go last month to get a judge an order to work out visitation, but he didn't show up. The wife showed up, and it was hard for me to express to the judge what I was there for because she kept talking over me. The judge kind of threw the case out because she wasn't part. Well, she's not the parent, and the parent got served, but
right. You see, this is the thing is, first of all, did any of you have an attorney with you?
No, it's self-represented.
Okay, so when you try to represent yourself, you're going to get torn apart in the legal system. I'm sorry, the legal system is not fair, but they only work with the attorneys. People that try to fight them on their own are an uphill battle because they don't know the law, they don't know the way to present it, and so forth. Now, you have a legal right to raise that child and help take care of that child. Now, on the birth certificate of that 1-year-old child, who's listed?
Just myself, not the father.
Why not the father?
Because he didn't believe it was his baby. He probably got
scared. Okay, that's fine. If he wants nothing to do with his daughter, why is his significant other wanting to be involved?
I don't know. I feel like
okay, you can clear this up really quick. You have a birth certificate. Does it clearly state that there's no father and just you as the mother only, right?
Yes.
Well, you can show that to the judge, your birth certificate, and say, Your Honor, my name is there. This is my name. And show them your driver's license. You have to show them your driver's license to prove who you are. Or if you don't have a driver's license, your ID, your California ID, since you're in Monterey County. Or you can show them a passport.
Okay.
But you got to first show the judge, and that's what a lawyer's all about. He'll help you. But you got to establish who you are, and then you got to establish in the birth certificate who that child is. So that birth certificate will show them. Now, do you have that child's Social Security card?
No.
Did you not get it when you had the child, when you gave birth?
Yes, I did.
So you can get a new one, but you need to have that also.
Okay.
And you need to tell the judge that you want to take care of your child. And that you can tell them that you had a lover who doesn't want to be her father, doesn't want to support you at all. And that he now has a new woman in his life, or had a woman in his life, and he was fooling around. And that she wants to disrupt you. That child, you are the mother. You're legally entitled to that child. But unless you have an attorney, you're not getting across right to the judge. The judge wants to throw his hands up because neither party is doing it right. You have to first establish your identity. Then you got to establish the identity of the child. And then you got to say, I want to raise that child. Now, have you been accused of doing anything wrong with that 1-year-old child?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a CPS case with a 1-year-old child.
I'm not sure. It was
well, it is because the only time that people are accused of doing anything with minors, anybody under the age of 18, CPS intervenes. The purpose of the child protection system, and up there, I don't know what it's called. Is it called Department of Children and Family Services? What's it called up there in Monterey?
Department of Social Services.
Okay.
Department of Children and Social Services.
Okay. All right. Well, I just use the word CPS just to make it simple, but that's what I'm talking about. they somehow have a case on you because there's something they're trying. Do you know what they're? Did you have abuse or neglect or both?
Neglect.
Neglect. So something happened with you and that child. So you have a CPS case and you need to fight it with the attorney. Now, they can give you a court appointed attorney, but I can guarantee that court appointed attorney is not going to fight for your case. And you probably don't have the funds necessary to hire a professional attorney, right?
Right.
Okay. And you don't own a home where you can get a credit line or a secondary mortgage
No.
or something like that. Do you own any other kinds of property like a car or anything?
No.
So if you own no big property, you do have a problem here because you need to have an attorney. Well, what you need to do is you need to go to the county CPS, wherever that place is, and ask them for a copy of all the paperwork. If you're low income, you can get it free. You go to the clerk, the court clerk, and ask for copies of everything. Or you ask the social workers for everything. And again, if the social worker doesn't want to help you, you talk to the supervisor. If the supervisor doesn't want to help you, you talk to the director. If the director doesn't want to help you, you go to the state in Sacramento and want to talk to the civil rights coordinator and tell them you're trying to get copies of what your case is, because you must have a CPS case for your child. Now, what have they told you so far? You're charged with neglect. And what was the neglect about? What was the neglect about?
Substance abuse.
Sorry, substance abuse? Okay, they want to accuse you of taking drugs. All right. Now, were they accuse you that you did your drugs in front of your children?
No.
Okay. Did they ever do a drug test? Have you had a drug test done?
They've been negative.
All right. Again, you hang on to all those paperworks. They have to support you. You need to show them to the court. You see, attorney is a person. It's like playing chess. I don't know if you know how to play chess or not, but you have to move pieces a certain way. Chess is about how to do strategies, how to move players a certain way. Same thing is true about attorney and a judge and CPS. You have these people that you have to deal with, and you have to know how to strategize yourself. So you need to know how to submit documents, how to prove your point. You have a legitimate point to have that daughter as your own. You gave birth to that child.
Okay.
Your name is on the birth certificate. You have an ID that shows who you are. You have the birth certificate. Find that social security card. That's another way of identifying who that child is. If you have the social security card with her name on it and her number, and you have the birth certificate and your driver's license or your birth certificate, you can show them your birth certificate. Driver's license, birth certificate, or a passport are 3 ways of getting identity. Having a utility bill will get you residency. That shows you that you're a resident of that area by having a utility bill or a bank statement or something that has your name and stuff that has the address there. But, you also can, ask them for a court-appointed attorney. If you don't have one to afford one, they'll provide you one. But you got to make that attorney work. You got to kick them in the seat of the pants. And you got to ask them to do things that you want them to do there. You got to ask them to be a fighter and defend you, because you're in a really over your head. You're going to lose that daughter. Now, I don't mean you're going to lose them to that lover father or the significant other of the lover father. You're going to lose it to something called foster care. Where is that 1-year-old child right now?
With the significant other.
How did that happen if the man wants nothing to do with that child? Who gave him to the significant other? Who gave him to there?
I did.
You gave him to the significant other?
Yes.
Why did you do so?
He was willing to take her in.
He's willing to take you. Why couldn't you take care of her? Did CPS want to take your child?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't you have a family member
Both
like
of the kids.
a mother or a father or a grandparent, an aunt, a brother or a sister that could take your child?
Yes.
Well, those are the list of people you want to make with CPS. Again, they take advantage of you because you do not know. If you are a parent and your child has to be removed from your custody, you're entitled to give CPS a list of family members that child could stay with. It doesn't have to go to foster care, and it certainly doesn't have to go to the significant other. If the guy wants nothing to do with you to help you, then I wouldn't give him the time of day. He's using you.
Okay.
He used you for the whatever thrill it was by having a child. I mean, I don't understand, but he used you there. He's using you again right now. But now that you've set the ball ticking, so you're 1 year there. Where's your 5-year-old right now? Where's your 5-year-old?
In foster care. I'm reunifying with her next month. I get over 9 visits with her already.
Yeah, but you should get more than just those. See, the problem being is that you don't have an attorney and they're walking all over you. And if you can't afford one, you need to get one. But you have to learn how to make those public defenders, those court-appointed attorneys, work for you. They're not trained in dependency law. They're trained in what's called criminal law. This isn't a criminal matter. Plus, they have a caseload of 30 more clients, so they're too busy to fight for your case. You got to make them fight for your case. And one way you can do that is you can tell that court-appointed attorney, if you don't do the job for me, I'm going to sue you for negligence and report you to the State Bar Association and make a complaint against you. They don't want that to happen. No new lawyer wants to have a complaint with the State Bar because they'll investigate that attorney. So you need to get that court-appointed attorney, and you need to, and if you don't like them, you can get another court-appointed attorney. But you really need to fight and do that. I don't know if that's just help you, Jesse, or not, but I really want to help you.
Yes, thank you. I went to family court and filed an objection on the legal guardianship, and I just filed the couple letters I had from the Department of Social Services of stating how what I've been doing to reunify with my 5-year-old. Okay.
So there is a plan to reunify you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But my 1-year-old is not part of the CPS case.
Well, it's not part of your 5-year-old CPS case, but they do have a CPS case against you. You have 2 CPS cases.
Okay.
Now, what a good lawyer would do is put the cases together. Since you have a comment, since you're the parent of both children, and they're both in CPS, and it's in the same county, they should put it together as one case. But to get more money. You see, it's all about money. That's all they care about is making money.
Okay. So filing an objection was a good thing?
Well, yeah, you always want to file appeals or objections, but you're not an attorney, so you probably didn't file it right.
Oh.
There's a procedure you have to do. Now, I want to say hello to a Canadian mom who's just texted in. Hold on one second, Jesse. Welcome, Philistine, from Canada. I'm glad to see you. they just take the kids and ship them off to foster care. That makes the money. Yes, that's the money part. You're right, Philistine. They took my brother's 3-year-old and kept her in foster care for 7 years, and I'm doubly certified to be a foster mother. That you could have taken care of the kids. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you, Philistine, and thank you for that. Okay, back to you, Jesse. Do you understand what you need to do?
Get an attorney.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing you will have a very luxury of it, and you would have a chance to talk to a real attorney. Because you call in on the show, you're eligible to talk to Mr. Davis and have a Zoom conference call. Now, he is a real attorney.
Okay.
He'll give you advice. He'll talk to you for 15 minutes. All you have to do is text me on the number you called in, your full name, your email, and your phone number. Those 3 things. The phone number, you can be contacted.
Okay.
The email, you can be contacted, and your full name. Then I will in turn put it over to my my show producer, Grace, and she'll set up the arrangements to have you talk for 15 minutes for free, a Zoom consultation with Mr. Davis. Now, what you need to do is prepare for that 15-minute talk. You need to make a list of questions and write them down and prioritize the important ones. So you do like this one first, that one second, because your 15 minutes will go pretty fast. So I've got you some help here. I got you a chance to talk to a real attorney, one of the best around the country. And he has cases right now in Northern California. So Monterey County is Northern California.
Awesome.
So I've got you that. I've told you what you need to do to get a court-appointed attorney and then to get the cases put together. You need to get the paperwork. You need to get all the paperwork. It's very important. My rule number 2 is to put a notebook together, a 3-inch binder, and with subject tabs. And then you need to make what's called a time log of incidents. That's anytime you're involved talking to CPS, the police, or the school, or whatever. You list the incidents down there. You take the first 3 lines. The first line will be your phone number, their phone number, who you talk to, and the location. All right. Then your second line will be a summary of what the incident was about, a 1-sentence summary. Then your third will be the outcome when it is over with. And you may not know it right away, so you can fill it in later, leaves a space. But you do that incident in a time log fashion, because in 6 months you won't remember everything. So it's important that you have the information.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I thank you for calling in. Now, I've gone over my time right now, so I have to curtail this show. So I want to thank you for calling in, Jesse, from Monterey County. That was really nice of you to take your time. But please, you can come back to my show. I'm on twice a day. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Thank you.
You bet. And Philistine from Canada, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Deza Amacello, thank you very much. She's from New Jersey. And I thank you very much. I hope you will come back. And then we have Kiki Miguel, and she was on my show too, And I want to thank her. I don't think I know where she's from. I think she was one of the people I didn't know. Let me see here. She has talked to Mr. Davis. I hope she will come back again. But thank you, Kiki. And again, there was Des who talked. And then there was Adam Biddle from Georgia. Thank you so much. And I hope you will come back again. Thank you all very much for taking the time to talk to me about your case. I want to be here to help you. Now, I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is Bob Pace signing off. There'll be a brief message from Mr. Davis.
Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Okay, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.